Ford just threw in the towel on EVs. Shocking, right? I mean, these are the titans, the big boys, the ones who practically invented the damn car. But guess what? They're waving the white flag to Tesla and the battery-powered brigade. So, are EVs a dead-end street after all? In this video, we're talking hidden stats, industry insider whispers, and enough shocking facts to make Elon Musk do a double take. So stick around until the end, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video first. Unfortunately, GM and Ford, two major automotive giants, are stepping away from the electric vehicle revolution. The truth about the challenges of EVs has come to light, leading both companies to consider abandoning their EV pursuits. Their decision is heavily influenced by a lack of customer interest and overwhelming pressure from government authorities. This sudden change in direction disregards the desires of their consumer base entirely. What's particularly confusing is that even Ford's former CEO cautioned against the potential downfall of EVs. This warning was brushed aside within the corporate halls of both GM and Ford. As a result, they might be conceding defeat in the EV domain due to political influences, neglecting their clientele's fundamental preferences and needs. This shift raises concerns. Is this the endgame for these automotive giants? Why are they paying no heed to their consumers' preferences? And how much influence does governmental intervention wield over the imminent crash of the EV market? Recent data reveals a significant trend. Nearly half of the individuals who initially bought EVs now trade them for hybrids. This seismic shift hints at an impending crash in the market. Missing crucial information could result in substantial financial losses for those involved. Let's learn more about the main people involved. Jim Farley is in charge of Ford. He is known for taking big risks to try to promote electric vehicles. At the same time, GM's leadership under Mary Barra has been criticized for making choices that the public doesn't like. They spent a lot of money on electric vehicles, EVs, because they thought they would rule the market. However, people aren't very interested in these futuristic cars, so dealership lots are full of EVs that haven't been sold. Even though Ford has done a lot to lower prices, including selling electric cars at massive losses, their demand is still shockingly low. GM's story isn't much better either. Barra's decision to stop making the Chevy Bolt EV and her reluctance to change her price strategy have backfired, leaving unsold inventory and poor sales compared to Tesla, the market leader in electric vehicles. Because of this, Ford and GM have decided to stop putting much money into EVs and instead focus on hybrids and standard combustion engines. But besides their business choices, there seems to be a more powerful force at work. Politicians strongly support EVs while hiding important reasons that call this shift in cars into question. These unknown factors make it even less likely that EVs will become widely used and wise. EVs have a lot of problems that aren't always fixed. First, it's a fact that the range decreases in colder places. The second problem is that not everyone can charge their EVs at home. Lastly, the truth about how the charging network works now must be shared. GM and Ford are trying to hide that they have had problems with EVs while giving the impression that they are still the way to go. But this coming crash will have effects on more than just these companies. It will also have effects on regular people. People are switching from electric vehicles to hybrids, and companies are doing the same. It could be a sign of a larger shift in the industry. Numbers from Edmunds, a well-known site for car shopping, say a lot. In 2023, 8.3% of US car sales were traditional hybrid electric vehicles, like the Toyota Prius. This was more than the 6.9% that were EVs. Plug-in hybrid electric cars only got 1% of the market. This shift towards hybrids is because they are more affordable and easier to use. This year, the average price of a hybrid is about $42,318. This is much less than the average price of an electric vehicle, which is about $59,400. Hybrids are a hassle-free option because you don't have to worry about running out of battery or finding a charging station. Market players like Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai lead hybrid sales in the US. Even American companies with a long history, like Ford, are getting on board with the hybrid trend. However, General Motors, led by Mary Barra, is still fully committed to electric vehicles. GM's hybrid range in the US is still minimal, except for the new hybrid Corvette. While hybrid cars are becoming more popular because they are valuable and cost-effective, GM is sticking to its EV-focused strategy, which means it might miss out on the growing hybrid market. This change in what people want makes me wonder if GM's decision to focus only on electric vehicles is good in a world where cars are constantly changing. The switch to electric vehicles, EVs, has also been hard on workers who make these cars. Consider Stephen Penovich's life, who worked for 36 years to improve petrol engines for both family and high-performance race cars. He had to decide to quit early last year because he felt left out as his job became increasingly focused on electric vehicles. For engineers like Penovich, the end of an age they worked hard to shape is bittersweet. If you heard about Ford's problems with EVs, you might change your mind about following this trend in cars. Ford's bold plan to make electric trucks, the much-anticipated F-150 Lightning, is running into big problems. At first, they wanted to make about 150,000 units a year, but they have suddenly changed their minds and will only make half that many next year. Why is that? Changing market needs, which showed that their sales predictions were too low. That's not the only problem Ford is having. They are also backing out their big plan to spend $12 billion in new facilities to make electric vehicles. Why the sudden change of heart? Consumers in North America don't seem eager to pay higher prices for electric vehicles, EVs. Electric cars are appealing, but not everyone can afford prices, often well over $100,000. Automakers, on the other hand, seem to miss this important point. The fact that people don't want to buy expensive electric vehicles is a big problem for car companies like Ford. Even though they were excited and had big plans initially, the market's answer has been slow, making people doubt that EVs will become widely used. Because General Motors GM is so scared, they have slowed down the production of electric cars at their plant in Michigan. The Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra electric vehicles were supposed to come out in late 2024, but now they will come out in late 2025. This problem is made worse by the United Auto Workers strike against GM, Ford, and Stellantis, which is still going on. This strike isn't just about wages, but the whole switch to making electric vehicles. The effects have been chaos, and the economy is expected to lose $7.7 billion in the first 4 weeks. This is a big hit to the economy. Seeing these failures, some suggest stopping the production of EVs to cut down on losses. It's not a choice for Ford or GM though, because the Biden administration has strict rules about emissions. These rules make it almost impossible for automakers to keep making standard combustion engines. Biden's push for very strict emission standards means that electric car output has to go up a lot to meet the standards. During the Biden administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, wants the auto business to undergo a huge change. They say that shockingly, by 2032, 67% of all new cars sold should be electric. That's a huge jump from the current 3%. The planned switch to electric vehicles would completely change the car industry and help make the move towards cleaner vehicles. The big plan is to speed up the use of electric cars to make a huge change in just 10 years, even though some people might not be ready for it. President Biden's ambitious goals to slash pollution and promote cleaner air are commendable, but he's banking heavily on EVs as the ultimate fix for climate change and air quality. Here's the hitch. Most folks aren't ready to bid farewell to their trusty gas-powered rides. Why? These EVs often come with hefty price tags and limitations in terms of mileage range, making them less practical for everyday use. Surprisingly, even industry giants like Ford and GM are tapping the brakes on full EV commitments. They're eyeing a return to combustion engines as their traditional divisions continue to rake in sales. People seem more interested in affordable, practical vehicles, priced below $25,000 that get the job done, instead of splurging on high-tech, overpriced models. The auto industry is in a state of flux, juggling between hybrid models as a transitional phase toward an all-electric future. But truth be told, the EV dream faces significant hurdles. Are GM and Ford making the right call here? Or is this a panic reaction? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.